since I laid my eyes on you, my baby. I just wanna make your dreams come true, my lady. If you low, I'll lift you up. Just let me know.
Welcome to A Goddess Life, where we explore life, love, spirituality, and a journey into the sacred and powerful heart of the divine feminine. You are a goddess, and this is your life. Let's dive in to this week's episode. Beautiful goddesses, you are here for a special episode with Anna and I for the summer solstice, as the goddess honors the changing of the season and the celebrations and all the beautiful energy that moves us and propels us forwards, and also allows us to find rituals, deep meaning, and really leaning into our prosperity and our abundance. So Anna pulled a card for us, and as most of you lovely, sexy, beautiful goddesses probably already do, we pull a card to discern the energy, to get higher spiritual guidance, to ask questions and receive answers that can bring us deeper into ourselves, find clarity, or connect with our higher self and goddesses and loved ones. So, in great honoring of the ritual of the intuition and the powerful realms of the goddess, Anna pulled us a card for our special summer solstice episode today. Please share, Anna, the powerful card you pulled.
This is a card from the Archangel Metatron Self-Mastery Oracle, which is my favorite. We pulled card number 1 in a big deck of 52 cards. So that is amazing. And the card is called Yellow, Joy and Happiness. With the sun, with butterflies, yellow flowers, a bumblebee. It's a really happy card.
I love that it's number 1. And I love this symbolism that you just described, like the yellow, the sun, the radiant golden sun of personal power, joy, which is such a beautiful high vibration and frequency. That's why it feels so light. It feels so present because it is one of the higher emanations or emotions or embodiments that we can have. And there's a nature of abundance in that. Like joy feels overflowing. You know, when somebody laughs and it's contagious, like the giggling factor, and then you start laughing, maybe not even because anything's funny, but because they're giggling, you caught the vibe of the giggle and the joy and the happiness. And summer solstice really is it is a pagan celebration, but it's an honoring of the changing of the seasons. They are in full bloom. Think about the bumblebee that's on that card. Bumblebee always represents abundance and prosperity, but I'm feeling like we need to tie this into the goddess, as in the queen bee. I'm the sovereign queen of my domain and my energy. I create my reality as the queen that I am. I receive the harvest and the bounty. And I also feel like bees are also representative of cross pollinating. When everything is in bloom, what does the bee do? They go over and they do their little buzzy and they go to the flower, they get the pollen and they spread it other places so that all of that abundance can flourish in even greater places. So I feel like there's a lot of symbolism, not to mention bees really reminds me of the scarabs and Egyptian pantheon. That's a lot of symbolism. And I do also feel that if we don't celebrate something that's good, we missed a freaking giant opportunity to increase a momentum, to receive and open the door to even more things to celebrate. Without that celebration, what's the point of all of it? Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's why these seasons and these rituals and these celebrations and these honorings are important. They call us into this moment to recognize the overflowing abundance, what we have to be joyful about, which also naturally increases us receiving even more of that. That's actually why I like summer solstice, is Not only do I get to celebrate doing these rituals of card pulling, of making flower crowns, like that's something you would do at the Beltane, the fire festival, and that, but that's also a summer solstice. It's where you get to see the ripeness of the harvest of the fruit, where the sweetness is so juicy. And I feel like summer is a time where we really do have the opportunity to take a moment to smell the roses. Stop and smell the roses. Stop and feel the sun warming your skin, to feel that warm summer breeze. There's so many beautiful things about nature in full bloom and that summer kind of an energy. I say this as summer solstice because we're in the northern hemisphere, but I also recognize that the other half of the world is in their winter, not their summertime. However, most of them do have blooms regardless. So I really want to tune it to summer solstice because that's appropriate for where I live, but I don't want to miss out on our beautiful viewers and listeners who are in the southern hemisphere as well. What did you take
Mm.
from that card and the goddess? Because I know you've been channeling some goddesses, and I know you've been diving deep into this turning of the season, summer solstice, right? There's a goddess for everything, and they're in every culture. So I am curious, Miss Anna, to hear, to listen, to receive all that wisdom
Oh.
that you have been diving into.
I connected to the Hathors and asked what they would like to share regarding the summer solstice. And I have a little text here.
Oh,
Read
you
out.
channeled a text? We would love to hear that.
How do you flow through your day? What makes you come alive? And what sparks joy in your life? Do them. And if you do not know, seek them. With each small step, you will find your way. It is all here, and it is ready for you. This time marks a fertile time in body, mind, and soul. Where are you nourishing yourself to blossom? Because you are a flower, ready to bloom and stretch yourself towards the sun. It is all here. You just need to let go of your restrictions. My goddess, you are one of us. Rise, my dear, rise. For you are us and we are you. And together we will walk this path, the path of unity and love.
That is stunning. Makes me want to cry in all the wonderful, beautiful, joyful ways. That is so beautiful and so poignant. And I love that when we tap into channeling the goddesses, that it's not always about this wild wisdom that we don't know. It really and truly is to guide us, to strengthen us, and to support us. That was so powerful, Anna.
Yeah, I really liked how they talked about how we can all blossom to reach for something higher and to know that we are all beautiful. We are all our own flower in a beautiful meadow of a lot of flowers.
Wow. I actually have a channel coming up on YouTube that said that exact line. You and I are
What?
so in sync. Talk about being in sync with each other, with divinity, with the goddesses. That's the magic. That is the magic of coming together with other divine feminines who are embodying their goddess. It's the magic of following the guidance, is all intended for us to be whole, to blossom, to bloom in our soul's expression. Because when you bloom, I benefit from that. It gives me permission to bloom as well. It gives me courage that I can too. It inspires me. That's how powerful it is. I love that. I love it. We all want to bloom, and blooms rise for the sun. They come up from the stem, seeking the sun, seeking to be fully expressed, seeking to be unfolded open, also seeking to allow its seeds of creation to also be dispersed. One
Mm,
bloom leads to another bloom because the seed inside the bloom is what allows the next bloom to come.
mm.
Mm.
And a lot about joy, because I think people think you need to do so much to be radiant, but like find the small things in life that really bring you joy, like the small cup of coffee or looking straight at the sun just to feel the warmth in your face, it makes you radiant. And we all love seeing people who radiate and who smiles and
Yeah. So true. And that is a really important point that you made, is that it is in the small things that we actually cultivate joy. We're all thinking about we're looking for this big thing, or we have to have this in order to feel joy, but it's the exact opposite. It is the little things. And that's important because little things add up to the big thing. There is no big thing without a whole bunch of little things to make it a big thing. So if we miss all the little things, if we miss all the places that we have to celebrate the simple pleasures of life, easy things that we all can find joy in because we all experience waking up rested from a night of sleep, that can bring you joy, especially if you're used to not having restful sleep, right? There's all these places where it is these little things that if you can look at that little thing, all those little things accumulate like compound interest. If we were to give that metaphor or parallel illumination of finances, right? You put a dollar in and it compounds. It earns 1 cent interest and then it compounds on the $1.01. And it just keeps going in that beautiful strengthening of the momentum until you've reached $100. And then it just keeps growing. It's the same for our joy. It's the same for every single moment of our lives, to be consciously aware of seeking joy in each of them is profound. It changes your vibration. The vibration of joy is unmatched because you're totally present. There is no weight to it. It is flowing out of you. It's like a burst. I'm seeing like a sunburst. And the yellow, that's personal power. We all have the choice of free will to take any moment in our life, like having a cup of coffee and taking a second and choosing to acknowledge, man, that sip of coffee felt so good. I am so grateful for it. Do you know what I mean? That's a choice. It's a conscious, active choice that creates an abundant mindset. It creates good feelings. It creates a releasing or a letting go of stress and anxiety. And these are moments that we get to insert and interject into our lives of joy, peace, gratitude. Listen, so much good stuff in this. And I also feel like that is one of the powers of ritual when it comes to these quarter seasons, the summer solstice, the equinoxes, the winter solstice. I feel like they're opportunities to flow with the momentum, amplify whatever that season represents in order to prepare for more joy, to make space for more joy. And rituals, I know for me on the summer solstice, I always like to do flower rituals. So, for example, I'll have a bathtub and I'll intentionally go get the petals from a package of roses that I have, or flower buds from my garden, or I'll go out and I'll get essential oils, whatever is the most synonymous with that season of whatever the harvest is. I will actively utilize nature's holistic ingredients to amplify my rituals. So, like, I put rose hip oil onto my skin intentionally. I'll make scrubs at this time of year, coconut oil and peony leaves. That's what I'll usually do at the end of June. And I utilize them all summer. If we utilize joy and our rituals together, merging them, it allows us to really immerse ourselves in the vibration of joy, the power of ritual. And notice it's the number one. Look how much we're pulling just from this card. It's the number one. You are numero uno. You are the bloom that needs to be nurtured. You are the top of the line $1 million racehorse that needs to be cared for, looked after, worked out, brushed down, rested, fed food that is very nutrient rich, It needs time to roam free. Like, we're thoroughbreds. We're not workhorses. We're the beautiful rose that is illuminated and put in the glass case, not necessarily the weed over there that gets trampled on and has, thorns when just you touch it. Not that those other ones don't have value, because they do, obviously, medicinally, culturally, and they're special in their own way. But I just want to bring it to this goddess energy, or the sacred Marys, the rose, all of these goddess pantheons from all of these cultures, and the Hathors are asking us to make ourselves a number one priority. Because when we do that, we bloom, and all of our seeds of our blooms and our abundance ripples out to all the people connected to us. Our cup is overflowing and abundant, and we celebrate that. I'm so grateful you channeled that, Anna, because I also find that writing, like channeled automatic writing, like you do so beautifully, clearly, that is a powerful ritual to do with goddesses, with your higher self, specifically on these powerful and potent times of manifesting, celebration, harvest, joy. To channel into the goddess energy just through automatic writing is a powerful way to be guided, to embrace the higher frequency of the goddess, to embody the beauty of the bloom of you. And something really special happens when our hand goes to the paper. We're not thinking about our thoughts in that process. So it kind of removes the logic. And when you're really in the flow of channeling, you just allow it to come through your hands. Like, do you notice you don't even think about it? It's just a throughway from the divine, your crown, through your crown chakra, all the way out through the hand that you're writing it onto the page. And that brings it into form. That's a form of manifestation in and of itself, to bring through that goddess. And you have to embody the energy to do it. But there's magic that happens when you put a pen to paper. I know some people will type out their automatic channeling. Some people will write. I personally prefer writing. However, typing on a computer works just as well. They're equally potent, and there's no difference between the two of them except for personal preference and what works for each of us. But man, writing puts it in a whole other level. And our logic doesn't get caught in the middle of it. We allow ourselves to be guided. We allow it to move through us. To put this into like a greater perspective, you sat down and allowed the Hathors to channel through you, to guide you, to share with all of us for this special turning of the season and the summer solstice and the celebration and the joy and the honoring. And in doing so, that became a physical form that you were able to share with all of us. Essentially, you brought the energy of the Hathors and the goddess and guidance through you into a form onto the paper, which could then be shared with the rest of us. And that's how every manifestation occurs. They come through us. So when we invite in the goddess, whether it's Egyptian pantheon, Hindu, whether it's through different ancient teachings across the world, it doesn't really matter what the pantheon is. What matters is that it's the divine goddess who is a piece of all of us, just as it said in your channel. I want to hear it one more time. I'm not going to lie. Let's utilize this to all our viewers and our listeners. Pause it if you need to write down the questions that the Hathors were asking of us to help us discover what we want to move towards, what we need to embody, because each of us is uniquely different. We have different lives. And these types of questions that they posed are powerful because they open the door to something greater for each and every one of us. Yes, the goddess has specific wisdom, but for something like this, Anna, I know you specifically channel things for this community, for our viewers, as do I, which means they're open ended. They're designed to open the door, regardless of your journey, for your own personal guidance and evolution. So I invite all of our viewers and listeners, as we celebrate this beautiful season and summer solstice and the goddess and each other, and we just celebrate the joy of life, of breathing, of existing, the sun, the blooms. to write down these questions and sit with them over the weekend, ponder on them. As you ask the question, allow your higher self to be embodied. And all you have to do is simply open to it and write down the answers. So I would love to hear it one more time, if that's okay with you, Anna, so that we can do that. I know I'll be doing that.
Yeah, of course. How do you flow through your day? What makes you come alive? What sparks joy in your life? Do them. If you do not know, seek them. With each small step, you will find your way. It is all here, and it is ready for you. This time marks a fertile time in body, mind, and soul. Where can you nourish yourself to blossom? Because you are a flower, ready to bloom and stretch yourself towards the sun. It is all here. You just need to let go of your restrictions. My goddess, you are one of us. Rise, my dear, rise. For you are us, and we are you. And together we will walk this path, the path of unity and love.
I will be sitting down with those specific questions and exploring them, allowing it to be revealed from deep within me what does make me come alive. Because in the coming alive, the soul sings.
Mm,
It really does. When I think about working with the goddesses, when you and I were collaborating and just exploring the idea of getting together, gathering and sharing teachings, wisdom, real everyday life experiences, and expressing how we feel and inviting in these goddesses to channel through both of us as well as an offering and a sharing for the divine feminine goddess within all of us. That made me feel so alive. It's like that's something that if it brings me joy, I'm doing it no matter what. And I will make the space and time for it because it helps me to come alive. Every fiber of your being begins to buzz. That's the feeling that I got just as an example of something beautiful like this that is exciting. It's deeply soul fulfilling. It's emotionally fulfilling, it's mentally fulfilling, and it's spiritually fulfilling. And all that fulfillment, all from the goddesses. Thank you so much for joining us on the summer solstice. I hope that you will dive into the beautiful guidance and questions that Anna channeled through the Hathors to provide for us here for the viewers and the listeners, and of course for Anna and I ourselves. And I hope you find time to smell the roses. I hope you discover what makes you come alive. I hope that you lean into it and take steps towards it and know that it is your divine birthright to bloom, to be in joy, to experience the magic and the love and the excitement of life itself. So thank you so much for joining us. Happy summer solstice. Anna, thank you for channeling that through for us and for pulling a card for us, which is another simple ritual side note that anyone can do. The highest spiritual guidance or what to focus on. You could use any question you want to and pull a card for summer solstice to help you ground your energy and lean in towards what is going to bring you into your presence and joy. So, beautiful souls, we will catch you on our regular schedule. We drop episodes every Friday on our YouTube channel, A Goddess Life. Or if you're listening through Spotify, episodes drop every single Tuesday. Happy summer solstice. We'll see you in the next episode.